Secretary Albright, it is such an honor to have you here with us today. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for the opportunity to ask a few questions. I'm a former intelligence officer, and some of the greatest accomplishments of my life have been knowing that the information I was out collecting would inform our diplomats and our policymakers on issues that are complicated and difficult and nuanced. And last month, following the intelligence chief's annual threat testimony, you said you were stunned by the president's immediate and vehement dismissal of their assessments and by his overall regular attacks on the integrity and the tradecraft of American intelligence officers. I am deeply concerned about what appears to be a growing disconnect between our political and our intelligence leaders, in particular because I see that it undermines the ability of our lawmakers, of our diplomats, of American leadership to make informed, strong, quality decisions based on intelligence that was collected by people, by Americans who risked their lives to get it. And in light of this week's summit on North Korea, my question is, do you have an opinion of how we as members of Congress can help ensure that the White House is receiving and considering the intelligence as part of the administration's policy formulation? And if that's not possible, as a former diplomat and as a teacher, do you have recommendations for what we, as members of Congress and as those with a platform within our own communities, can do to ensure that the American population understands the value of intelligence in the way that it informs, and the value of diplomacy in the way that it helps protect our communities and the way that it is a vital portion of our national security efforts?
It is a key part of our national security efforts. And well, first of all, what I truly miss not being in the government is the intelligence. And I would read the papers, and then I'd come into my office, and there'd be the State Department INR part, and then the intelligence person would come in and brief me and read the PDB and all kinds of things. And I always thought, gosh, I wish I could spend hours all day doing this. But the greatest respect for the intelligence community. I also, Leon Panetta at the time asked me to be on the CIA External Advisory Board, which I did with General Petraeus and John Brennan. I'm no longer on that. But it was a way to understand what the intelligence community did, and I think something that's very important in terms of all the work that's done on open source and all the information that's out there, and that is impossible for the government to operate without having that kind of knowledge. And I think that what needs to happen is obviously the funding of the intelligence community, but also the respect for the intelligence community. And I think one of the things that the External Advisory Board was there to do, because that's what Panetta thought, was to try to explain it more to Americans. And I think that that needs to happen, is that it shouldn't, not the product so much, but the fact that it's important. How can you possibly make policy without both kinds of intelligence, frankly? But I think that it's very important. And I think your coming here and being a member of Congress is also a very important part in terms of being able to explain what it really does. So I will do my best to keep talking about the importance of intelligence.
Well, thank you, Madam Secretary, for your comments, for your insights, and your continued service to our country. Thank you to the members of this committee. The hearing is now adjourned.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.